Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like
Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. It's been so long since I've actually put up a video. That's just because the weather was simply awful. We've had storm after storm. The storm Eunice, now storm Franklin. It's been crazy. For the past few days I've been thinking whether I should actually do the master's program or the bachelor's program. Because if you're studying engineering at NTU, you have an option of doing the integrated master's or just the master or just the bachelor's program. The bachelor's program is 3 years and the integrated master's is just 4 years, and at the end of the second year that's when you have to make the choice. And hence I'm in a tough spot. I've got to decide really quick which course I want to do, because master's definitely adds so much value and is just an extra year. So that brings me to the topic of this video. How was the first 1.5 years of studying engineering here? This video is just about reflecting how I felt the first few years and really contemplating on how it's been and whether I can actually do whether I'm capable of doing the masters or not, just based off how hard the course actually is.
I'm just lost to feel, I'm just lost to feel. I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel, cause this drive it kills, and it gives me chills. A nice road it feels, I slip off the peel, and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal? I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold, cause I can't move on till I let go.
So while first year, reflecting on that, it's actually a pretty interesting experience. The funny bit is that I didn't know the first year doesn't really count towards your final grade, so I took that very seriously. It had a lot of ups and downs. I think up till December I was this kind of very took the back seat kind of guy. I didn't really engage much in class. I just went for every class, but then kind of didn't really find most of them that interesting, found them quite monotonous. Classes wise, yeah, everything was online because of COVID. But I think it's really December that took a bit of a twist. I got really bored during that entire month, so there was pretty much nothing to do. That's when I actually thought of starting a YouTube channel, my own podcasts, and doing something just to pass time so I don't get too bored. I couldn't even go back home to Singapore because of the travel restrictions, so I was just stuck in the UK. That's when I started my YouTube channel, started revising more stuff from my course, and I started to actually find it quite interesting. It's more like if you're curious about how things work, engineering just teaches you the science behind that, which is pretty interesting. Physics is like, it builds the tools for engineers to build devices. That's something I learned that month. Soon after, around Jan, was when we had a lot of our submissions and coursework that was due. It wasn't very easy, but I kind of made it through. If not for that one lecturer who really helped me with my academic writing skills, I don't think I would have got good grades. And I think getting good grades just keeps you motivated to keep moving further ahead in your studies. That was quite interesting. I think the real twist came during the grand challenge. It really puts everything you know to the test, and even the staff themselves are on top of their toes. They themselves are like learning things as they go. So that really got me a bit more curious. And the business and video, there's so much more than just engineering. So you're applying everything you know. During the grand challenge, we actually did a reflection on this. So one thing I actually learned is that you don't always have to win or be good at anything, or everything rather. During the grand challenge, my whole idea was, we came up with this topic of queue management system. I found, and we had to use this technology called LoRaWAN, which is just a sort of a network system. I was a mechanical engineer, so why should I learn networking? It really forced everyone to think out of the box, and my perspective on this was pretty much more like, initially it was, this is nothing to do with my course, I'm not interested. But then when I started to think in another dimension, if you can learn anything quickly and fast enough, you can do probably anything you want. It's just your ability and willingness to learn that can take you so much ahead. And just based off that, we had to learn coding Python, which we were reluctant to do. We didn't really do that well in Grand Challenge, but the lessons that we learned in the first year, when the grades weren't counted, really helped a lot to develop me personally for the next year. So during the Grand Challenge time was when the EROS project came up and I applied for it. Things took more of a twist there. EROS is when we actually got this, at least the EROS project that I did, we got an aircraft, a section of an aircraft, which I found very interesting. We were first told it was a space simulator. I was quite excited for that. I thought since that there's now pretty much at that time there's like a race going on who could get to space first for a commercial flight, like tests. I think Virgin, then Jeff Bezos is one. They all were just racing to get up first. That's why we were doing some work in there. Turned out to be an aircraft lab to study human factors, which was very interesting. So during the months of June, July, August and September, I got to play around with these different tools. It was like a DIY project, learn the science behind it. And really the lessons I learned from the Grand Challenge really came to use. I had to learn stuff about digital signal processing, human factors, human response to vibration, all the sort of different concepts just to help me with this project. So this, because the simulator had to be a calibrated simulator, not just any simple simulator. So it did really push me on my toes. It was a very challenging experience, yet very satisfying seeing results. But then as I entered second year, it kind of became a bit monotonous, the same thing repeating over and over again. Like the whole first year was completely new. So then it was very interesting. So as second year came in, it was a bit of repetition, especially in maths. So I kind of built on a bit of last year, but I did find it repetitive from doing my A-levels equivalent, which is International Baccalaureate program. So it wasn't that hard. But then it's like now at this point, I feel like I haven't tried anything new. After Grand Challenge, of course, I did want to push myself in terms of making YouTube content, learning how to create new videos, editing videos, making cinematic B-rolls, those kind of stuff. I think in terms of progress, I'm moving far ahead, but there is stuff definitely I feel like I can do better on, and another thing that's probably coding. Just think about it. A combination of someone who's good at business or some experience in business, coding, comfortable with media, and an engineering background. It creates a really compelling, employable quality, which I really want to develop. So well, let's see where things goes. So far, we're doing the control systems report. It's not easy designing a PID controller. Especially, there are a lot of concepts like in engineering, all in all, from what I've done so far, 1.5 years. The course seems relatively straightforward, but every time you tackle a challenge, you realize it's really these challenges that build you as a person. It's beyond just your course or what you're learning. It teaches you to be more resilient, and whenever you face an obstacle, not to give up and just push through it. That way, I think I'm growing a lot as a person. The first year has been amazing. Second year is hard, really hard and time consuming, which is probably why you haven't seen me put out that many videos lately. I'm excited. Let's see where this goes. And thank you, engineering department, for the hoodies. I absolutely love it. I'm headed for an electronics lab. I'll take you with me and show you a few clips because that's my favorite lab. So see you guys later.
I'm setting down gravel while you just follow the path. I'll lead them into battle while you're just too scared to act.
Not gonna lie, year 2 is not easy and I'm exhausted. We had a digital systems lab where we're building a home automation system using Arduino and a few other gizmos. Exhausting day. Thanks for watching this video though. I hope it kind of made sense of what first year and at least studying engineering is like. It's not an easy course. It's definitely interesting, but there are hard times and you've got to push through. Thanks for watching this video and see you all in the next one. Take care.